Hello folks, it's Fuzz. More Final Fantasy 7 time, yay. Okay, so we're going to continue on following this blood trail. Everything's fairly mysterious and spooky right now, isn't it? And whatever's going on, it involves Shinra because she's either been freed or has escaped from the containment facility in which she was previously being held. So make sure your game is saved, though you will get another opportunity to save in a moment's time before anything too exciting happens, it's got to be said. And we're going to continue following the blood trail on floor 68. And that's just going to bring us around here where there's a couple of potions that weren't there previously. And then as we continue to follow the blood trail, we can head immediately up to floor 69. And floor 69 holds nothing of significance outside of yet another save point. So by all means go ahead and use that if you wish to do so. But there's probably very little point since you probably just saved on the floor below. And taking care of the various enemies that are scattered around the place, we're going to continue on up to the next floor, floor 70. So just make sure that you stay nicely healed. There are a couple of boss fights coming up, which you can probably tell by the fact that there are various save points scattered all over the place here. So let's which is, oh, I didn't mean to press that. I meant to do the one that speeds up. That's the one. Well, it doesn't really make much difference. Let's go ahead and heal up. Just try and whiz through some of these battles so that we can get into the thick of it. Wow, he did not get killed by the limit break. The enemies are starting to get a little bit stronger now, aren't they, it seems. But that means more experience for us, no doubt. So I must remember the left analog stick is the speed up function. And I think we're going to be making use of it since enemies are coming in thick and fast. Lady. That did the job lovely. Hey, Clim Hazard. Right, so we're going to be able to have the opportunity to sort people's materia and stuff out. But before we do that, let's head through the next set of cutscenes. And look at this. This is actually quite a shocking moment. I know that many of you are probably already aware of it and so we're expecting it. But if you've not played the game before, President Shinra, who for all intents and purposes was like pretty much the main antagonist, wasn't he, up until this point, now he's dead. And he has quite a long blade protruding from him. Yep, no doubt belonging to Sephiroth himself, who we've started to hear quite a bit about. So it seems he has something to do with this blood trail and the breaking out of Genova. So it seems Barrett thinks this is cause for celebration. Yeah, so Palmer here is all in a tits. And we actually start to, through the second-hand account of Palmer here, learn some of Sephiroth's motives. Barrett always thinking of the best of people. So it seems Sephiroth himself wants the Promised Land, but not for any benevolent purposes of saving it from the Shinra. No, he wants it for himself for some reason. Okay. So we can say hello to the dead Shinra. Nope, just need to chat to our friends and fellow Avalanche members here. Okay, not really a whole lot of exciting stuff going on. So let's start heading back down. I think that will trigger something to happen. No. Oh, still nothing. Hang on. We need to head out of the doorway up here. You might want to go and save again, though, at that point. But I'm going to risk not doing so. And here's a new character, Rufus. What an introduction. Rufus here showing no emotion about the death of his father. Straight away we're getting to learn the type of person he is, aren't we? First impressions count, as they say. Right, so the party's going to leave at this point, leaving Cloud with Rufus by himself. But before we head back to Cloud, we are going to be undertaking some control of the other party members at this point. And also Tifa is going to be holding off. And Ares has the great idea of checking our equipment. So Cloud and Tifa's materia, we can remove it or leave it. We are going to remove it. And we can't get back to the save point now, unfortunately, because Tifa kindly blocks the way for us. So we need to go ahead and sort out our materia, as just stated. And yep, as you can see, nobody's got anything equipped right now. Now, what I'm going to recommend, because we do have an upcoming boss battle that is completely out of reach from any kind of melee attack. So Ares and Red 13 are going to want to equip damaging materia. And what we're going to do then is make sure that Ares has lightning. I don't believe the all materia is going to help in this particular regards. So we can also give her, I guess, I don't suppose it really matters actually. Well, let's just give her steel, why not? Barrett, he can have... He doesn't really need damaging materia. We'll give him cover, mainly because he's in the back row, so we'll be taking less damage. And we'll give him healing as well, I think. We can give him sense, but just to level it up more than anything. And finally, Red 13, let's give him the fire materia and the ice materia. Yeah, that'll reduce his health, but it'll keep both of those leveling. And then we'll just keep him with the poison and elemental combination. And the enemy skill is a very powerful materia, but as of right now, doesn't do anything. And I'm just throwing the all materias in, not really needed for anything else. Just to make sure that they are leveling. As a matter of fact, I guess we can give one to Ares, just in case there's any random enemy encounters. Lightning Ghoul probably wouldn't go amiss. And may as well give the other one to Red 13 in the correct location here. Oh, come on. Oh, pressing the wrong buttons all over the place here. So, yeah, he can have all fire. And then we'll just stick ice there as well. Okay. Right, so that should be good to go for now. In fact, you're better off having Ares as a healer over Barrett. But because Ares is going to be using bolt magic, I'd rather her do more damage than Barrett using his weapon. But either way, once you're ready, however you set it up, head towards the elevators at the bottom of the screen. Looks like only the left elevator is the one that's going to work at this point. And be ready for the boss fight. As soon as you engage with the elevator controls there, it shall commence. And this is an interesting boss fight since it uses the standard battle music. I'm not exactly sure what that's about, but that's just the way it is, I guess. Just start laying on the damage. Now there's actually going to be two boss fights. This first one here, the boss known as 100 Gunner, has 1,600 hit points. And as with many of the boss battles in this game, it's not particularly challenging. I'm not sure if there's anything to steal, or indeed if we can steal. Nope, we can't steal. So we'll just continue on laying on the damage here. Bolt is of course going to be your #1 damage source. And as the boss starts to take damage, it will start changing its positioning here. And that will just affect the type of weaponry that it's going to use. So let's go ahead with a restore all cast. And obviously make use of your limit breaks as they become available. So I reckon a couple more hits should do the trick here. We'll save off on Ares' limit break for the time being. And I believe we're in the final stage now. So when you get to this stage, literally just a little bit more damage is all that's going to be needed to finish this guy off. Its sensor cannon does take a couple of rounds to go off, so you should be able to kill it before being affected by that. Unless you're under-leveled, in which case that may not be the case at all. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. Don't get comfortable though, because it's not over yet. So we'll see if Seal Evil is going to work. It's possible that Bio might work, I'm not sure. Ah, Seal Evil doesn't work on this guy, that's annoying. Probably should have waited for Healing Wind. But hey, hopefully that will be a lesson for you guys. Yeah, and Bio doesn't work either. Bio doesn't work against mechanical enemies, in fact, I'm pretty sure is the case. Now, Sledfang you may think is a melee attack, but actually all limit breaks, I believe, are classified as ranged attacks. So can be used, even if you think that they couldn't be because of the range issues. Now, because our healer's gone to sleep, we're going to have to throw a couple of potions around here. So I'm not sure why he wants to pick on Red 13 all of a sudden. We might have to be at the stage now where high potions are going to be the thing. We haven't got a whole lot of high potions, but I still think one is going to be a big help here. Yeah, wake Barrett up for us, will you? That'll do us a nice favour. This boss only has 1,000 health, so quite a little bit less than the last one. But it's obviously still going to take a few rounds to get the job done. Nasty, nasty. We'll use Barrett's Cure Magic, I think. He's in full spinning mode now, which I believe means more AoE attacks are incoming. Nope, he just wants to focus on killing the one that's really weak. Wow, our first death. This guy is evil. Probably should have healed her. But he won't go for her in a second time in a row, will he? Nah, he won't have the chance, look. Well, we did it. So that fight was a little bit tougher than I remember, actually. Even though that final boss only really did single target attacks, if you watch that boss again, he tended to always go for the party member that had the lowest amount of health. But we get a mithril armlet, which is nice as our reward there. And at this point, control switches back over to Cloud. So first thing we're going to do is remove the materia from other party members. Okay, and we're just going to sort Cloud out here. Now we can have a look at the mithril armlet that we just stole. Sorry, won from the last battle. I'm not sure how Cloud's got it, but he has. But as you can see, it's actually not as good as the carbon bangles that we've been previously stealing. So I wouldn't actually replace that, to tell you the truth. Let's go back to materia. We can actually sort materia out here. There we go. If you go to arrange, then arrange. Just keeps everything in a nice order for you. Okay, so we're going to want Cloud to have the healing materia, of course. We'll give him the bio materia, or the poison materia, since it does work in this fight. And give him the steel materia as well. Now, the reason for this, interestingly, is we're not really going to be stealing from the next fight, but it does boost Cloud's dexterity by 2 and doesn't have any other negative effects on his stats. So, yeah, pretty good materia to equip there. And you can equip some of the other materials if you want to level them up. Let's go ahead with some of these blue ones, since they just don't affect stats here. Although that's pretty much all the materia we're going to be using is poison and restore. And then we'll use Cloud's physical attack as well. And let's get started, shall we? Right, so we're going to be doing quite a lot of physical damage in this fight, but before we do anything, I'm going to recommend casting bio on both of these enemies. So this is Rufus and his dog, or so not his dog, his cat even, known as Dark Nation. Now his cat's really annoying because he reduces the amount of damage in this fight that the enemy's going to take. But as you can see, he's not all that hard to kill. Now, Rufus himself only has 500 health, so even he's not going to take too many rounds. And if you can come in with a limit break as well, which I haven't, then this is going to be over quite quickly. And the hard edge weapon is obviously really nice as well. In fact, you can keep casting bio if you want to. I mean, that does a nice amount of damage. So even though poison's already active, bio itself will still do its initial damage for a nice amount there. Now just be careful, because as Rufus gets a little bit low, I was going to say he starts doing double attacks, but he doesn't. That's a single boss that appears later on that I just got confused with. Another one-on-one fight. But you do get 310 experience for that one, along with a protect vest and a guard source. Sources are items that permanently increase a party member's stat in a certain area. So anyway, once that's done, we're going to make our way back through the door that we came in to reach, or came out of rather, to reach this balcony. And before you speak to Tifa, you are definitely going to want to go ahead and save your game. But just be careful, there are, as you can see here, random enemy encounters still, and Cloud is all by himself and not healed up. Oh, come on. Oh boy. So you could easily get a game over if you're not paying attention here. So just make sure that you stay nice and healed. You could even escape from battle as well if you want to. but I'm going to try and take this guy out if we can. 2 or 3 rounds with the hard edge should be absolutely plenty to do the trick. There we go, look. Critical strike at the right moment. And above all, do not forget this save point. Alright then guys, well I think we'll take a break at this point. And then we'll continue on in the next episode. We've actually nearly done now with the Midgar building. We've got a pretty awesome finale, followed by one more boss fight before we're completely done with this section of the game. But thanks for stopping by today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and do come back soon for more Final Fantasy VII here on the Nintendo Switch. Take care, goodbye.